aspect that what you intend to do. So personal statement becomes like a testimony for the in your petition to continue to cover the third aspects. It's not just that you fulfill the criteria or fulfill totality that is good enough, but you need to prove that how US will benefit and what that you will continue in the field of expertise, and which I personally think is going to be very, very important and vital for your petition. So I would give a lot of relevance and importance. So basically, it's like a personal mission statement, personal why you seek. Because remember, EB1A is not something that your employer or somebody else is doing it for you. If somebody were to do it for you, then it definitely kind of you can give your continuing employment letter or something like that. But if you don't have it in self for a self petitioner especially, I would always suggest that this is one of the best things they can present their cases actually. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it does. It's kind of fully rounded. So this the next question is from Anonymous. Their question is, while submitting an RFE, how can we prove sustained international acclaim, with no awards, no memberships? Now, no, we haven't submitted any expert opinion letters. Shall I submit expert opinion letters, which is not a part of the initial submission and not part of the RFE?
Okay, I mean, you don't have to submit, proof sustained and international only during RFE. If that is the purpose for which you have got, definitely you need to address that. But I personally would say that sustained and international acclaim are not only, in general, but ideally, I would love to see a good petition which I have seen recently, which I've seen. I mean, they tackle sustained and proof acclaim, sustained acclaim. It's not sustained international acclaim, it's actually sustained acclaim. Sustained acclaim in a very consistent way across the criteria. Just to give you an illustration, so for example, if you have played a critical role across the organizations, multiple organizations, then it shows that okay, your talent is valued by the companies over a period. So that is one way to do it. Your salary, like for example, if you have been at a top salary for a consistent period of time frame, that is a good enough to prove a sustained acclaim. So basically, what is happening is for every criteria, you are entering into a zone of fulfilling the criteria, and then you get into a totality and a sustained acclaim zone. So it happens very gradually across. So, for example, you are talking about awards. You don't have awards, that's not required. Awards are just a testimony of the good work that you have done. But if you don't have awards, we have had some people in the program who would never apply for awards actually for whatever reasons. I mean, they are not applied for it and they did not use it also. Membership, okay, you don't have membership is also not really a metric for sustained acclaim. Now, sustained is a manifestation of a continuity of time or the intensity of your work and the impact factor. So it has two dimensions to sustained. So you can use both the ways to do it. So, but because that's the reason somebody, let us say for sustained is normally we associate it with if I may use the word from a timeline perspective. But sustained has not to do necessarily with the timeline. It has to do a lot from a perspective of even the intensity of the work that you have done. That's the reason we have seen 23-year-olds getting EB1A or 28-year-old. I mean, you can't prove a decade work or something. Just to illustrate this further, let's say, for example, somebody in 2010-11 were expert in blockchain technology. How would you prove a sustained acclaim then in that case? Because the technology itself was new. Or even today, if somebody says I'm expert in, let's say cryptocurrency, which is a very new field, but then you have to kind of establish that over a period how that expertise came into existence. So either your expertise, demonstrating the profundity of your expertise will help you to reach to that level of sustained acclaim, because the very fact that you are an expert, it's a good thing. Now, for example, just to give you a statement, you may be an expert in a rocket fuel that can take a rocket to Mars. I mean, you don't become an expert of that level by just by reading books or going to a university. You have to kind of be a super expert. You have to evolve that expertise. So your expertise is one way to kind of showcase that you have a sustained acclaim. And second is your impact factor by virtue of your intensity of the output or the timeline that you have proved. So there are both. It's a whole rounded story. And that's what I would say, that if you can respond to RFP, since we don't have more details about it, I don't want to kind of comment what exactly. Then we can talk about original contributions, we can talk about publications, then media, and there are a lot of aspects to it. So I love this. But another aspect is that you can also used to create a narrative based on your personal statement, what we said before. So if you, I am not very sure whether this gentleman who got RFE gave a personal statement or not, because a personal statement becomes a kind of a launch pad for you to demonstrate your sustained acclaim also, because you showcase the profundity of your expertise in that case. So I would say that. Let's move to the next question.
Yeah, of course. And I think he answered that really well. The actual amount of examples you gave kind of gives a little bit more clarity on the question too itself. But the next question is from Anonymous as well. It said, I've been considering next league. I want to make the most out of the 6 month program. Would it be best to work on my own for the few months and then join the program to make the most out of my time?
Well, I mean, many people keep and ask this question. The question is, we want to do it the right way. So that's the first thing. So, it's always good that you join the program because that helps to understand. But having said this, there are some categories for which this program may not be suitable. I will tell you specifically. I mean, it's not about not suitable in a sense, one may not be ready as yet. For example, there are three dimensions for success for your EB1A. The first is your degree of expertise. We always suggest that, we will help you to sharpen your expertise and to teach you how to present it. But we cannot, somebody is a web developer, somebody is a DevOps expert, somebody is a technologist, cyber security. We won't be teaching the technology to you. So you should be a technocrat, and whatever expertise you are in, the know-how of that should be profound. If you are not an expert, don't come to us. Or if you don't want to position yourself as an expert, then we would rather say that's the only time where we say that, well, you need to put your effort. Put your effort not in the output, but or towards your EB1A, but sharpening your expertise. Read books, go to school, sharpen your skills. That would be the one way to do it. The second dimension is understanding EB1A. That we will do the best of our ability to you. And we have seen that people had a lot of myths and a lot of questions. So you do it the right way. So that will be good for you. And third is how to present yourself, in a sense that how to draft recommendation letters, how to draft expert opinion letters, how to present a petition. So that will tell you how to work with a lawyer for this particular purpose. So we'll be more than happy to kind of help you navigate through the entire process. But the first thing, kind of a preliminary requirement for us to consider you for the program would be, are you an expert? If you think you are not an expert, I would always ask you to sharpen your skills actually and knowledge. But as I said, that this is something which is going to be very important. Otherwise, don't bother about EB1A. If you're thinking from an EB1A perspective, I mean, don't bother about it. That we will be you'll have a lot of narratives, a lot of success stories, and a lot of other aspects to somebody to navigate through you. Okay, that should help, I think, Barry.
Absolutely. So this is a great one. So Anonymous asks, I worked on projects involving confidential company information or intellectual property. How can I demonstrate my work and expertise through this?
Wonderful. It's a nice question, and we have faced a lot of things here. Companies are in the process of filing patents. Somebody may proprietary work may be there. Definitely, you don't have to talk too much. You don't have to give a narrative of the nature of work or how you have done it, but you can always talk about what have you done, and then showcase the impact factor of that work. I mean, just to illustrate a point, let's say you are in Coke and you are the one who has founded the Coke formula. Let's say that you don't have to give the Coke formula as such to USCIS that this is your work product. Then you can actually say that, look, you have to give a proper narrative that will illustrate the fact that, well, I have created this formula which has helped the company grow millions of dollars, and get kind of evidences for that. So similarly, I mean, this is the one way to do it. If you cannot actually show, and actually USCIS would never ask for such confidential information. They do understand that there are certain proprietary information, which is always companies or any establishment would always be restrictive on this, and we'll be more than happy to kind of help you for that actually here. So, I mean, that is the way how you can demonstrate your impact of your work and your expertise. I hope that
Absolutely.
answers. Yeah, Mario.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's it's well stated. So this next question is it true that the USCIS does not consider stock compensation towards the high salary criteria? I work at a tech company where the majority of my compensation comes from stocks, and base salaries are capped even at higher levels. My high salary for my area is 250,000. My base salary is 190,000. My salary with stocks is 315,000, and my total compensation, bonus included, is 340,000.
Yeah, congratulations on having such a wonderful illustrative. It shows speaks a lot volume about your credibility as a professional. Having said this, I mean, this question is it true? I don't want to subscribe to this because we have seen, and in the program there is a way how you need to present your case actually when you talk about this, because one of the aspects that you should realize that the from a USCIS perspective, the idea is not how much salary you are drawing or how much cash in salary that you are getting. The idea is what is the value of your expertise for which you should be considered EB1A. Remember, the criterias are nothing but just mere metrics to prove your expertise. Remember what I said earlier, there are three things for which you will get EB1A. First, you are an expert, US will benefit and you will continue your expertise. So all your criterias have to be oriented to prove these three aspects. It's not the other way around. So whether that's why we have seen people even getting 2 million salaries or 1 million salaries not being able to, successfully navigate through the even the salary criteria because they have not linked their expertise to that. But compensation has many forms in the modern era. It's not necessary that you always get paid in cash or a monthly paycheck. It could be sales. If somebody is working as a sales coach, we have seen a one wonderful case actually. Somebody has worked as, I think the HR where there is some performance review happens, then there is a quarterly bonus. There are sometimes stocks which are given. You can incorporate those things in your submissions, but definitely this would need a proper narrative. I would say that, and personally, no matter which part of US you are staying or which part of the world you are in, I definitely see that 340 being a very good emolument to fulfill the criteria. So congratulations, and on your EB1 journey, this definitely would be helpful. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, one of our next questions is, how will your program help me write and publish papers?
Well, I mean, we can just talk about the program. I mean, this is since it is related to the program. Well, it's very simple. We teach you how to fish actually. I mean, we don't give you the fish. So that's please understand that. So you'll have to do all the work. We have very focused and specialized sessions on, you know, how to publish, how to seek site. If at all that criteria is relevant to you. I mean, there are people in the program, at least we have 2 dozen people who are even become members of Forbes Council. They have been featured in Forbes. They write to even, focus quotes on, publications like, if I may say, New York Post or New York Times or Washington Post. We have seen our people being quoted there or featured there of such kind of, great publications. So we will help you, teach you how to write. Very focused. Writing is a very professional skill altogether because normally I think when in the era of chat GPTs and all AI tools, people have I think forgotten how to write a good. So we have kind of an approach how to do this, and we'll be more than happy to help you kind of do it. And if you feel stuck up, we'll always be there by your side. But remember, we can only teach you the skill of writing, and you have to apply your expertise. Remember, I said before that you need to be an expert in your field of expertise. And if you are an expert, and if you are taught how to write, definitely you can go through this whole process. In fact, I would say that 90% of the things what all our EB1A achievers have done, they have done post joining our program. They may not have written any articles before. What you need to communicate, how you need to communicate, those things that definitely we'll talk about, and will definitely help you if you kind of are with us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Let's take a last question.
Yeah, absolutely. So this last question is, I understand that EB1A does not require a job offer. If I'm applying outside of the U.S., how do I prove to the USCIS that I will be working in my field of expertise within the U.S.?
Wonderful. I think this question, this is the last question, and we start again from the featured question, which said that what is the relevance and importance of a personal statement in your EB1A application? This is the relevance. It's your declaration, it's your statement that you are making that how you will benefit the USA. So exactly we end where we started off from. So your personal statement becomes, so your declaration, your personal statement becomes a testimony. So you can definitely give a personal statement. If you get a job offer, you can kind of state that job offer with the proper evidences. If you're talking about doing a business, you can give a business plan. In my own petition, I think I did give some narrative that I wanted to go to school and kind of do something of my own. And that's what I'm doing right now. There are other people also doing the same. If you have a company job offer, you can blend it with the personal statement. But I would love to give a personal narrative because it's a self petition. I always like to see a good petition with a personal statement, even if you are having a job and you will continue the job. So I would always love that to be seeing that. So I hope that answers the question. And it was wonderful, Mario. And thank you for meeting me today. It was great questions. And let us take this forward for everybody. Okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions or need personalized guidance, please reach out to us. We are here to help you every step of the way in your journey towards achieving your American dream. Let's connect and make it happen together.